Welcome again to Learning English Topics. Today we're in the kitchen with Emily. In this episode, everything goes wrong. Except your English? Learn real cooking vocabulary, useful verbs like whisk, sieve and roast, and hear natural idioms in action. Watch to the end. You might even have your cake and eat it too. Please ensure that you are subscribed to our channel so you never miss an episode. Also leave a like. It helps us to reach more people. Enjoy the video.
I think the first thing we need to do is gather all of the equipment that we are going to need so that we're sure we have everything.
Oh, I'm sure that we've got everything. Let's just get on with it.
Emily, I think we really should be sure. If we find out halfway through that something's missing, we'll be in a real pickle.
Oh, we're not making any pickles, James. We're making a cake. Pickles are something very different. Maybe we can make those another time.
I know that, Emily. To be in a pickle is an idiom. It means to be in a difficult situation. There are lots of idioms that use food references.
Well, I hope that I don't have to hear all of them this afternoon. My audience wants straight, easy to understand language.
It's probably a good idea if you do this podcast in another language then. Because there's nothing straight and easy to understand about English.
Anyway, enough about language. Let's get on with the cooking.
Right, what do we need to do first?
First, I need a mixing bowl to put all the ingredients in. Addy!
Yeah, I'm here. What's the problem?
Addy, I think you'll need to make yourself useful by handing me the things I need.
What about James? I'm the lighting engineer. He's got nothing to do apart from talk to you.
Well, the lights seem to be on and working, so now you have nothing to do at all. I think you can pass me the things I need.
Okay, just give me a minute.
Come on, James. Let's see if everything is ready. Addy! This is a saucepan, not a mixing bowl.
Well, it's nearly the same shape and you can still mix things in it. That's what I use at home.
Addy, this is supposed to be a high-class cooking podcast. We need to be using the correct equipment.
Okay, here. Is that any better?
Yes, much better. Now I need scales. We will begin by weighing the flour, butter and sugar.
Don't most cookery shows have that already done? It's usually all prepared in little bowls, so the cook or chef just has to tip it into the mixing bowl and mix it together.
Oh, brilliant idea, James. Addy, measure the flour, butter and sugar into small bowls so that we can arrange them attractively on the countertop, ready for me to tip.
Yes, of course, Your Majesty.
Addy, don't be sarcastic. It's not clever, you know.
Sarcasm. That would make a great topic for a video. I must talk to Edward and Oliver about it.
Maybe you could focus on this video for now, rather than worrying about your other projects.
Yes, of course.
Right, let's do the first scene. This is where I tip the ingredients into the mixing bowl and then whisk them together. Addy, are the lights all set? Max, are you ready with the camera?
Yeah, everything's set.
Okay, and action! Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Emily Aesthetic, where taste meets opinion. Today we're in the kitchen, and I am going to show you my recipe for the lightest and fluffiest sponge cake that you will ever try. This is an old family recipe that was taught to me by my grandmother, so today I'm reliving my childhood, but instead of the student I am now the teacher. Okay, cut there, and let's get ready for the mixing.
What's all that about your grandmother? You just got me to print the first recipe I could find on the internet.
It makes it sound more romantic and authentic. People like that. You have to give them a story. If you don't, then you're just cooking. And that's not very exciting, is it?
Authentic. What does that mean?
Ah, yes, authentic. It means real or true, what people say it is.
But when people taste this cake, aren't they just going to think it's the same as any old cake?
Oh, really, Addy? You've been working in TV and video all this time and you still don't get it. Nobody's going to be making this cake. They just watch thinking that maybe they could, but they won't.
That's true. I love watching cooking shows, but I've never cooked anything from any of them.
One question from me though, Emily. I've always wanted to know, what exactly does aesthetic mean?
Ah, that means studying or enjoying beauty. Now let's do the mixing. Remember, Max, you need to focus on my hands for this one.
Emily, I know how to do this. That's why you employ me.
I'm just making sure. Is everybody ready? Okay, and action! Now for a light fluffy texture you need to start by whisking the flour, salt. Oh, cut! Addy, where is the salt? And the recipe also needs baking powder. I'm supposed to whisk them together, but all you've weighed out is the flour, butter and sugar.
That's all you asked me to do. Nobody said anything about salt and baking powder, whatever that is.
Ah. Let me help here. Baking powder is a white powder that helps to make cakes rise. It creates air inside the cake so that it is light and, as Emily suggested earlier, fluffy.
You have the recipe, Addy. All you have to do is follow it.
Okay, just give me a minute.
Well, it seems that this video is not going to be a piece of cake.
Sorry, James, I don't understand.
It's another idiom. If we say it's a piece of cake, it means whatever we are talking about is easy. So when I said that making this video is not a piece of cake, I meant that it is more difficult than we expected.
Oh, I see. But it really isn't difficult, is it? All they have to do is just follow the recipe and we won't have to keep stopping like this.
Okay, I'm done.
But there are only 3 dishes still. Where are the extra ones?
I just put the salt and baking powder into the mixing bowl. There were such small amounts nobody would have seen them anyway. Just tell the viewers that they are already there.
Addy, that's not how it's supposed to happen, but I suppose now that you've done it, we'll just have to go with that. Okay, are we all ready? Again. Okay, and action! Now for a light fluffy texture, you need to start by whisking the flour, salt and baking powder. I've already added the salt and baking powder, so if I just pour in the flour, then we need to whisk all 3 ingredients together. Addy, can you tell me why I have a wooden spoon and not a whisk?
You said you were going to mix the ingredients, and spoons are used to mix things.
Okay, just pass me the whisk and keep the camera rolling. We can edit this bit out later. Now you need to whisk this until there are no lumps and it is a lovely smooth powder. Next you need to combine the butter and sugar and cream them together. This is done with the back of a spoon. Addy, did you actually weigh these ingredients? There seems to be rather a lot of butter and sugar here.
Well, I didn't actually weigh anything, I just sort of estimated. Anyway, we know how much we need, so why not just weigh out what we need now?
I suppose I'll have to. How can you turn a simple cooking task into such a disaster?
It's not like you've done everything right. I noticed that you forgot to sieve the flour.
Whisking it does the same thing. Anyway, let's just assume that the ingredients are all mixed and go from there. Once you've mixed all of the ingredients together, pour the mixture equally into 2 cake tins like this one. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius, whichever you prefer. When I say preheat, I mean turn the oven on and let it warm to the correct temperature before you put your cake mix in to cook. James, would you just check that the oven is heated?
Yes, it's all ready.
Oh good, is it time to roast the cake?
You don't roast a cake, Addy. You bake a cake.
So if you put a chicken in the oven, it's called roasting. But if you do the same thing with a cake, it's called baking.
Yes, that's exactly right. You also roast vegetables in the oven. So meat and vegetables are roasted, and cakes, bread, and biscuits are all baked.
Okay, I'm going to put my cake in the oven and leave it to bake. That's going to take a little while, so we're going to take a break and we'll be back when our cake is ready. And cut.
Shall we have a coffee while we relax?
Oh no. Sorry, James. I've got things to do. I'll meet you back here in about an hour. Addy, keep an eye on the cakes and take them out of the oven when you think they're done.
So everyone gets a break but me.
There, perfect sponge. Fluffy, golden, not a soggy bottom in sight.
You bought that from a bakery, didn't you?
You would better edit that out, Max. James, we don't want anyone to know that.
Trying to have your cake and eat it too, are we? That's an idiom that fits perfectly here. It means you want the best of both worlds, getting credit for baking the cake and skipping the hard work.
Well, I did do the hard work. It's not my fault if Addy messed it up.
Okay. Well, you'd better finish off the podcast.
As you can see, I have already done some decorations on mine. How to do that will be the subject of a future podcast, so be sure that you don't miss that. Anyway, that's all we have time for today, so thanks for watching. We hope to see you back here next time for more helpful hints. Please remember before you go to subscribe and leave a like. It really does help us to reach more people. See you soon!